You're feeling a little self-conscious and you want to know how to boost up your confidence when you go to the gym. Watch this video because I'm going to share with you 7 critical tips for you to boost up your confidence so you can go to the gym and make sure you kick some butt. Let's get started. What is up, guys? Thanks for coming back to this channel. If this is the first time we're meeting, hi, my name is Sky. In this video, we are going to talk about tips to give you confidence so that you can kick ass in the gym. Now, I know exactly how it feels because, oh, there's a dust. Now, I know exactly how you feel because I have been there before. Just remember, everyone started somewhere during their journey to get to where they are today. We've all been beginners at some point. I remember the first time I actually stepped foot in the gym. I was 14 years old, I believe, and it was in middle school. I had just moved to a new community and we had this community gym. I walked in and I was so intimidated. People looked like they knew what they were doing. People looked so fit and athletic. I just walked in and looked around. I didn't know what all these machines were doing, these dumbbells. Everyone was just picking them up and putting them down. I had no idea what to do. So I made my round. I got on a cardio machine because that's the only thing that looked intuitive to me. I think I worked out maybe 20 minutes and then I left. That was my first experience. And it's been quite some time, 16 years since I first stepped my foot in my first gym. I know how intimidating it can be during your first few visits to the gym. And whether you've had your gym membership for a long time or you just want to get started, I'm going to give you the essential tips to make sure that you don't feel self-conscious, because you shouldn't be. I'm not saying this is going to be easy because it is a learning experience. You are going to have to invest in knowledge and make sure that you understand what you're doing over time. I try to think from a perspective of when I first started and put myself in the shoes of a beginner who have just bought their membership to a gym, and I tried to think through how I got here. I really try to put myself in your shoes to think through these tips, and I really think they're gonna help. Let's get started. Tip number 1, replace fear with knowledge. Let me explain. Lack of confidence is rooted in fear, and fear is stemmed from uncertainty and the unknown. What do you do to get rid of that fear is fill that fear with knowledge. Think through that in the logical step. Get rid of that fear by fueling yourself with the knowledge that you need to be successful in the gym. The key thing is, how do you do this? Over the years, I've picked up a lot of resources and influencers to teach me how to do certain lifts in the gym and how to exercise effectively. There's so much content out there. It's just waiting for it to be absorbed. So I highly encourage you to start Googling, start searching on YouTube, and start following influencers that really motivate you, don't bring you down, but really educate you. I'll note some of the influencers on Instagram that I really think are very resourceful. I follow 𝗤𝗍𝗆. I think she's phenomenal. She really gives you the breakdown of what is an appropriate form, how to do certain exercises, what not to do, what to watch out for. So she really gives you the visual understanding of how to do certain lifts. She's a very good resource to start. There are so many other people that I follow that I don't want to take up all of this video to explain to you guys. If you really want some more information, leave a comment down below and find me on Instagram. My handle is @SkyKim, which will be down here. Send me a message, send me a DM, and I will forward you some accounts that I think are very resourceful and very motivational and gives you the breakdown of how to do specific exercises with the correct form. This first tip is all about getting the knowledge and fueling your fear with knowledge so that you'll be more confident when you step foot in that gym. Tip number 2 is replace nervousness with preparation. There's this famous saying, practice makes perfect. Now, I don't agree with that whatsoever. I think practice makes permanent, not perfect. If you practice perfectly, then that's a different story. You have to be really intentional about how you practice and how you carry out your practice. What I really want to get across here is you want to practice with the right form. Form is so important, not only because you want to make sure you're activating your muscles correctly and to its max potential, but also to prevent injuries. And you don't want to be looking all silly in the gym using the wrong exercises. Imagine somebody playing the piano with, I don't know, their elbows. I mean, I'm sure it's done. But you want to make sure that you're using the equipment appropriately and properly, and you want to make sure you're maximizing your potential. Let me give you tactical advice on what you can do to practice. Start with 1 or 2 exercises or 1 or 2 machines that you want to become an expert of. Don't try to go to the gym and try to hit all the machines. I actually see a lot of people do that, and I don't think that's the right way to go about it. Start with 1 or 2 machines that you want to really understand, and what you want to do is Google those machines. If you don't know what they're called, ask the front desk, hey, what is that machine called over there? And a lot of times these machines will say what the machine is called. It's like leg press machine or whatnot. Go back home, Google it, see how it's done. Don't only look at the pictures of how you use those machines, but look at the videos. When you just look at photos, you may see different stages of the exercise, but what you want to know is how to tie it all together. So look at the videos of people using these machines so that when you go to the gym, you know how to use them and you know what you should be looking like. Pick 1 or 2 machine, and I think the best ones to get started is probably the leg extension machine, which is pretty straightforward, and maybe the leg curl machine. So you can work out your quads and your hamstrings. You can also start with a leg press. A leg press is pretty straightforward as well. Now, oftentimes people also get nervous because they don't want to look stupid. I don't want to say just outright, don't think you look stupid. We all start from somewhere. Although that's very true, I want to kind of break it down for you. Let's think this through. Why do you think you will look stupid? One reason could be the fact that you might look silly and you don't know what you're doing, and maybe another reason could be that you don't look the part. So let's address those 2 in the next 2 tips. Tip number 3, start going to the gym during off hours. During the weekdays before work, after work, and also on the weekends around 10 to 12 is probably the most busiest times where a lot of people are going to be there, and that may make you a little nervous. Some of the machines that you want to take your time on may be occupied and people want to use them, and you don't want to feel a rush as you're trying to learn these exercises. So I recommend going to the gym during off hours and using this time to really learn the machine or learn the exercise and testing different things out. At least in the beginning, that's what I would recommend. That way you can also get acquainted with the layout of the gym, understand where these machines are located in the gym, and not feel so self-conscious as you try to adjust the equipment. I remember when I first started, I went to this one, I can't even remember which machine it was, but I went to this machine and I tried to adjust the seats and I didn't know how to adjust the seat. I mean, I was only 14 at that time, so I kind of wish somebody stopped me and helped me adjust the seat because I felt so self-conscious, people staring at me as I'm trying to like yank the seat. I remember after that, I went during off hours, try to figure out how to actually maneuver the seat, go during off hours just to learn the machine and understand how to use those machines properly. Now, let's go to the next tip. Tip number 4, to address the other part of feeling nervous, which is looking the part. Find clothing that you feel comfortable in. That gives you the full range of motion so you can go to the gym and not feel self-conscious about your body. Now, this may not apply to everyone. Maybe you just feel nervous because you don't know how to do the exercises, but if this applies to you where you feel self-conscious about the way you look, make sure you just invest in clothes and athletic apparel that really gives you that confidence. For instance, if you feel self-conscious about, say, your midsection, get leggings that have compression and are high-waisted, and get a t-shirt that is a little loose and covers your midsection, but still gives you the full range of motion. And I give this tip because I'm not saying to go hide your imperfections, because I don't think you should, but I understand. I know what it feels like to be self-conscious, and you're going to the gym to better yourself and improve your physique. You don't want to go to the gym and feel so self-conscious that you can actually work towards your goals. Invest in clothes that make you really feel comfortable, and that could really be a motivation driver to get you to the gym too, because you feel confident in your new set of clothes. The next tip, tip number 5, may be a little interesting. When you first start going to the gym, go to the cardio machine section. Get on those cardio machines where you can actually see the layout of the rest of the gym and watch people. Now, don't be a creep, obviously, and stare people down. but this is what I used to do. I used to get on a elliptical or a treadmill where I can see the layout of the gym, so I would actually study where things were located so that I'm not just roaming around watching people, seeing where everything is located. I got on that treadmill and I kind of try to figure out, people are working out their legs on that side. Over there it seems like it's shoulders. Over there it seems like arms. As I was on my cardio machine getting my exercise in, I was also studying what other people were doing so that I can try that exercise out next time. Over time, I figured out who were the ones who really knew what they were doing and looked like they were experts, and I would actually approach them and ask them for help or tips and guidance. Now, this is the part that I want to talk about: weight room manners. There is such a thing as weight room manners, and it's actually one of my biggest pet peeves when people don't know how to abide by this law that is unwritten but so critical. If you want to approach someone, spot them, but try to catch them at the end of their workout or between sets. Sets meaning if they're working out one exercise and it seems like they're doing multiple repetitions of those, and before they go into the next exercise, maybe catch them during that break. But what I actually recommend is find them after they completed their exercise and seem like they're about to head out. The reason is because it's really rude to actually stop somebody from the middle of a workout. Some people really take this seriously and they time their exercises and how much rest time that they get. So just be respectful of who you're interrupting and when you are interrupting them. To go along with this tip is don't be afraid to ask for help. It's actually a compliment when you're approached by somebody for help. It's a huge honor. Maybe not everyone will be as willing to help you out, but I don't think I've ever come across one person who isn't willing to spend at least a few minutes to give you some pointers or tips on how to do a certain exercise properly. Especially if you're new to lifting and you say that to the person that you are approaching, look like they knew exactly what they're doing and wanted to know if you can get some advice and a few pointers on how to use this machine or that machine, or how to work out your shoulders, or you want to build your glutes, and what are some of the favorite exercises that they like to do, and where are those machines located in this gym, or how to use those machines in that gym. Continuing on the topic of asking for help. That leads us to our next tip, tip number 6, I believe. Ask a friend or acquaintance. I'm sure you have at least one friend or a friend that has a friend that knows one thing or two when it comes to lifting in the gym. I've had many friends approach me in the past wanting to get started in the gym, not knowing how to use the machines, not knowing how to actually set up their workout routines, how to plan their routines, how often to work out, what to do when they actually get to the gym, and having a plan of action. And I've helped so many friends get started. And I know a lot of people who aren't professional trainers that help their friends get started in the gym as well. So find a friend or an acquaintance and ask them for help. To give you more of a specific example, Doug, my fiance, has a coworker, wanted to get started in the gym. He followed Doug to the gym one day and they kind of like did a workout session together. He was a novice, pretty much new to lifting, started with Doug. Now several months later, Doug and the coworker are still lifting together. They're training partners. He is no longer a novice. They are motivating each other. It's just an example of what it could turn out to be. Don't be afraid to ask for help when you need it. The last tip of the day, tip number 7. Get a trainer, at least in the beginning. I know trainers can get a little expensive. Not everyone can afford a trainer. When I first started lifting, I definitely didn't have any money to hire a trainer. But if you are in a financial position to hire someone for educational purposes. There are a few different reasons why one may hire a trainer. The first one is to give you motivation. You pay for the trainer, pay for the session, you've committed to different times, so you have to get to the gym. They will motivate you and make sure that you break a sweat, right? The other reason is for educational purposes, which would apply to your situation. Even if it's for a few weeks, few months, or even a few sessions, like 1 or 2 sessions, I think this is the best thing that you could actually invest in if you want to really get a kickstart in your gym journey. Because the importance is form over fashion. The cringiest thing is when somebody goes to the gym and tries to lift really heavy with the worst form, not only because you're not activating those muscles at all, so it's kind of almost useless. you're also putting yourself in danger, potentially causing injuries. So you really want to lighten up the load and know how to actually do a proper squat, know how to do proper deadlifts, know how to do proper curls before you focus on hypertrophy or progressive overload or whatnot. You really, before you add on any of that, you want to make sure that you get your fundamentals right. You wouldn't go to a gymnastics class trying to do all these like tumbles back to back when you don't even know how to do a cartwheel or know how to do a handstand, right? You want to learn some of the components and the fundamentals before you start doing tumbles back and forth across the mat. Also, if you are a piano player, you wouldn't attempt to play the Rachmaninoff piano concerto when you don't even know how to play a basic scale. You want to make sure that you're learning the basics, invest time in the basics. That's not going to make you look like a fool. Understand that you don't need to be packing on plates on plates on plates, and this goes for both men and women. Although you don't need a trainer necessarily to learn those basics, because I didn't hire a trainer. I did my research, I Googled a lot, I watched tons of videos, tons of hours of videos, trying to learn how to do these exercises. And so it is doable. You don't need to hire a trainer to do that. But if you want a trainer and you can financially do so, I think it's a great investment. And ultimately, it will help you boost your confidence in the gym once you decide not to go with the trainer anymore and you feel like you have some of the fundamentals, a little gas to get you started. Now you can gain more confidence as you do more research on your own as you continue your gym journey. So that is it, guys. 7 tips to help you get started. Make sure you're not feeling self-conscious in the gym. I hope these tips really helped you. Let me know if any of these really resonated with you. Perhaps you're already pretty mature and experienced in your journey in fitness and you know exactly what to do and you feel confident when you strut in that gym, but I can empathize with those people who have just started. So I wanted to create a video that really caters to that group because I know what it feels like. I can empathize. It is possible to overcome. And I no longer feel self-conscious at all going to the gym. For me, it's just a giant playground for me to learn, experiment, try new things out and build my muscles. I hope that these tips helped you and help you build the confidence you need to go and kick ass in the gym. Now, if you want to see more content from me regarding health, fitness, and mindset, make sure you subscribe to this channel by hitting that red button and also clicking on that notification bell so you'll be notified the next time I come out with a video. In the meantime, I have other videos that you can check out, which I'll leave in the description box below. I guess that wraps this up. Thanks so much for your time and watching this video. If you made it this far, I will see you in the next one. Bye.